All right, interweb land. We back at it. Another Rosco Odyssey walk and talk. Yeah, it's a little wet on this one. So got some rain. It's been pretty much got some rain up here in the West Coast, Cali. Okay. So today is Monday, November 25th, 2024. And I got some notes today. So I got a topic lined out. Oh, look at that. Rosco Odyssey playing the mud today. Yeah, all right. Topic for today is something that's kind of been on my mind. You know, I don't know. I wonder about stuff. I don't worry about. I wonder. So there's a term. It's called American exceptionalism. I'm not going to really attempt to define this. Obviously, I don't know if one individual could define it, but I'm gonna see if I can get it out there and talk about it. What I think it means, or some of the things that I think it means, in terms of, so, you know, what's, you know, America, the United States. A lot of times the information that we see, it's just, it's not always great, it's not always good, it's not always positive. I get it. It's life, okay. But sometimes the information on the on that end, on that really, like, let's just say dark side, on the dark, it's like overwhelming, man. They just know how to keep pumping it and running it. And it's like, is that real? I mean, are we saying it's real that the United States, America, it's just all bad? Is that what's going on here? I don't know. I beg to differ, you know. I beg to differ. Life has its challenges, no doubt. For many people. Not just any one particular culture, heritage, you know, creed, skin color, whatever, you know. But I think, so I'm not sure about, like, the equality question. I mean, that's a tough one because, man, that can go a lot of different ways. You know, I'm just gonna, maybe it's a variety question. You know, everybody, you know, they say variety is the spice. Everybody's a little different. Everybody has a different level of knowledge, or no knowledge, or, you know, skills or no skills, you know. So does that make one or the other better or not as good? I mean, I'm not really asking that question here, but I'll throw it out there. Chew on it. My example, so I guess the best, I'm gonna give an example. Then my example would be, and I'm gonna go back to my youth because there's a lot of pluses and minuses in there. I want to try and see if maybe it can produce something of value to somebody. So in high school, I took physics. I don't know why. I guess I qualified to take it, so I threw it in there because I was on the college track. Basically, I'm like, okay, after high school, I'm gonna try and go to college. So that was one of the requirements. And yeah, I sucked. I struggled with it. You know. But this is where kind of like this is where having a good teacher and a bad teacher really can be a deal maker or deal breaker. I'll get to that in a minute. But you know, one of the guys in class, you know, this guy, he was just like he was kind of like the stereotype, you know, just come in, flip-flops, you know, on a warm day, flip-flops, has a guitar, You know, he's just chill, or, you know, and he's like, you put a problem in front of him, man, he's got the answer before you even finish the problem. The guy, you know, so, you know, he's got the smarts, he's got the skills. So, you know, I'm like, man, I talk to this guy, you know, so we kind of chop it up a little bit. You know, he helps me out every now and again. We become, not really friends, but like you know, friends basically, but acquaintances more or less, you know, just, you know, friendly, helps me out a little bit, you know. And I finally go to the teacher. I said, hey, man, if I'm not getting this help, I'm not going to make it. I didn't feel like I was going to make it in the class. I didn't know what to do. He's like, look, just keep plugging, keep doing what you're doing. I said, he's like, hey, we need guys like you. Just keep doing what you're doing. I said, wow, need guys like me, huh? I'm struggling. So I took it as a compliment. So I just rolled with that. But so what I'm getting at is he didn't just brush me off, kick me to the side and say, hey, you ain't going to cut it. Or you just, you know, yeah, sorry to hear that, bub. You know, he just said, hey, I see you're putting in the work. You're trying. Stick with it. You'll be all right. I mean, I ended up with like a C-. I didn't get a D and I didn't fail. But my point is, that's a lot. That's a lot of the United States. That's a lot of America. You don't hear like America's probably actually more inclusionary than it is. What would you call it? Exclusionary. I mean, you're always gonna have, you know, your like, you know, your fancy spots. Or if you ain't got the money, you just be like, well, it'd be a nice place to check it out. But you know, I remember one time I was out on the coast, and there's off of Highway 1, and I got my old little. I like Suburban. Had my little Suburban. Had the wife, kids, and you know, we're chilling, rolling down Highway 1. It's a beautiful day, sunny, ocean scenery, and we're getting ready to pick our spot. You know, find our little spot out there. And I'm like, hey, isn't that new Carlton Ritz? Isn't that somewhere around here? My wife's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, let's go check that out. She's like, I'm not ready to go. I don't want to go. I said, no, let's go check. So we roll up in there, man. I felt like the Beverly Hillbillies. Oh, man, it was funny. But that was nice, though. It's a pretty nice little Carlton Ritz, I think that's what it is, out there on the coast, Highway 1. You know, we didn't go in or nothing, but I don't know if they're really kind of. I'm just saying. I think we get caught up in this. Yeah, of course everybody's. You know, there's a variety is the spice of life. You know, people are different, got different goals, and you know, some people need a little more help than others. I get it. You know, but sometimes that gets lost in the sauce. So I just wanted to kind of get that out there. You know, there is even in manufacturing, I think there's like, even in accounting, just because I was trying to do a little small business, and after the whole polka dot thing, I kind of just had to scrap things, but I'll be back. But yeah, even in manufacturing, you have like the American standard, which is basically your fractions, thousandths of an inch versus, you know, millimeter and all that. And for a lot of practical reasons, the whole measurement and, you know, fractions is most of the time, like if you're doing construction or you're, you know, maybe you got a ranch or a farm, just even around the house, it's almost like it's a simpler yet really accurate way to do something, you know, so it makes it a little bit faster. You know, and then in accounting, you got two systems. You basically have cash accounting, and then you have an accrual accounting system. And if you want to know where you're at right now, you use like in a cash accounting system, because you're always going to know what your expenditures are and versus what you got in the bank. So don't come to me asking for cash, because there's nothing in the bank. Anyway, yeah. So that's one example. You know, America more or less, to me, tends to be more inclusionary. But you know, there's still barriers to entry to stuff. You know, you just, like my physics teacher said, man, just keep on working at it. He didn't give up on me. He could have just said, yeah, you ain't getting it. You ain't gonna make the cut. So I talked about the standards and the weights real quick. Also, I mentioned the accounting system, cash versus accrual. I do like the cash accounting system for like small business, because that just, again, it's simple. But I think what else I got there? Yeah, it's simple. And it kind of gives you the picture of right now versus like in the past. That's the way I look at it. Accrual would be like what you did in the past, almost like, because basically you're buying something, you're using credit. Maybe you need machinery or something, you're using credit, and you're recording the expense. How does that one go? You record the expense in the future. Oh, I'm gonna do my homework on that. I just like the cash system because it's simple. You know, hey, this is when I paid for it. This is when I bought it. This is my receipt. This is my expense. Done. You know, hey, Rosco, you don't got enough. Oh, okay. Well, I'll try next month. Anyway. Hey, what else we got? So, yeah, I'm gonna roll with that for today. It's a little wet out here. You can see I'm kind of off the trail here, but apparently, let's go. So this was at some point, they're saying this area right here is supposed to be or going further that way, supposed to be a BMX park, because it goes out that way and then it kind of dips down and all this, does all the curvy stuff. So that's what they're saying. I don't know. We'll see if it gets done or not. But you know, and just to add, like, I never, you know, just thinking about like current events. You know, I'm rooting for America. I mean, I'm here. I'm rooting for this. I'm rooting for the USA, man. I'm rooting for Trump and his the people he pulls down. But I was rooting for Biden. I mean, I was rooting for Biden too. I just don't, you know, that wasn't my pick. But you know, if it was Kamala, I would be rooting for her too. But you know, we got. So we'll see. You know, we'll see what they do. I think a little healthy, not constructive criticism, but you know, like a healthy, optimistic skepticism. I don't know. I mean, you still gotta kind of keep an eye out. But anyways, with the whole current political mumbo stuff going on, first time I even, it got me off my seat and said, you know what? Let me go and see what my city council is doing. You know, see what they're all about. First time ever. I never did that. Never even thought about it. I'm not saying that it's, you know, Trump or inspired or anything, but I'm just saying, like, you know, for all the people that want to just, you know, they just constantly, you know, all the bank, they want the finger pointing there. It's these people over here. It's this, that over there. The banks over here. All the government, all the milk. It's like, all right, so we're all just foobarred? No, we're not. No, we're not. You know, even with all that, if you just said, okay, well, I'm just gonna have to go my own way and find my own thing and do my own thing. Do that, you know. Let's do that. But there are definitely, you know, populations that are relying on certain things and certain systems and that sort of thing, and we all do to some degree. You know, whether we're engaged in business of all types, so we all have a vested interest, and I think that's another message that kind of gets overlooked, is that we all have a value. You know, we all have a value, and what that is exactly, I mean, I'm saying it's that we all can have a potential to contribute in positive ways to but it's not, I'm not equating it to a good or bad thing. I'm just saying, like, you know, there's obviously some things that there's some, you know, there's some beliefs and there's some things out there that I'm not concerned with the value at that point. I just don't agree, and I'm not accepting certain stuff, you know, but just on a compassionate level, yeah, I mean, you know, so there's a lot of things within this country that makes it a great country, you know. And obviously, since I'm born here, I'm rooting for the home field. I'm home field advantage, you know, and I would think that, you know, if you're Russian and you're in Russia and you're born in Russia, and that's your home field advantage for Russia. Same for China, same for Mexico. You know, all the other countries. You know. So, damn, it's a little cold out here. A little colder than I thought. But that's what I got for today. Rosco Odyssey walk and talk. Hope you get something from it. Hope some of it makes sense, and if it doesn't, okay, I'll do better. I'll work on that. I'll work on that on my end. No wind, so the audio should be pretty clear. No wind. All right, folks. Thanks.